Yeah. So we went to the wet show, which I called kind of the Super Bowl for the drain cleaning, pipelining world. It was really, really interesting and very cool. We brought our whole team there. I think it was a great team building and bonding for the guys and us. That was really fun and exciting. We got a lot of drinks in us, which was a good time. My observations for the show was a couple things. It just reinforced the relationships we have with some of our main vendors. Seeing them there, seeing how excited they were to see us in person, having conversations with them about what they're doing and where they're going, understanding what we're doing and where we're going. Those were really good conversations. The thing I thought was interesting, which I realized, but I don't think I realized to a full capacity, is our industry is really based off of the distribution model. And so what I mean by that, think of the iPhone. When the iPhone first came out back in, I don't know, 2007, if you recall, Singular, who's now AT&T, had an exclusive service provider with that phone. So you could only buy the iPhone through AT&T. That only lasted for a couple of years. And then Apple decided, hey, we want to distribute our phone to every single service provider in the country. We want to get T-Mobile, Boost Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, Singular. Who else am I missing? Probably pretty much everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So the iPhone said, we want to get our material out to everybody. For the lining world, realize that this has happened with a lot of the major supplies that a lining contractor needs to get. You know, we love our Speedy Light UV curing machine. When we purchased that, you could really only buy it from one specific vendor. Now you can buy it from 10 vendors. You know, some of our equipment that we used to prep and clean the pipe, again, you really used to only be able to buy that from one or two guys. Now you can buy it from 10 guys. And so a couple of things. What I think is going to happen in 5 years, because our industry is growing so heavily and so fast, a lot of the guys are kind of jumping back and forth from supplier or distributor from distributor. And they're starting to get heavy private equity money into these companies. And so they're buying each other up. They're merging, you know, a lot of behind the scene things as our industry is growing really fast. So I think when we go to that show 5 years from now, there's going to be two distributors. There's going to be Walmart and Target, right? They're going to buy up the company from California, the company from Minnesota, the company from Texas, who are serving this regional area for the supplies and the lining and the resin and the materials that you need. And all of a sudden, they're going to become a conglomerate. That's what I think is happening in our industry. But more importantly, and I'm totally fine with it. I mean, that's just, you know, that's America, that's capitalism. Yep. I am on board for that. But more importantly, I think what it reinforces is the relationship that you have with your local vendors, because that's what's separating you apart, right? If I can go and buy an iPhone from T-Mobile, Singular, AT&T, Verizon, why am I going to that specific place? Is it price? Of course, that's an important value. But for us, is it if I've had a relationship with the guy at AT&T for 5 years, and every time we're adding a line or every time I call him with a question, he picks up the phone, he services me, or he insures me and shows me price competitive that we're getting the best value, why would I go to AT&T? Why would I go to Verizon? I'm serviced. They're fulfilling all my needs. That's what our industry is really about. You know, when we have a technical question, or more importantly, a piece of equipment breaks down, we need to have a distributor or service provider who's there to help us troubleshoot, fix it, maybe get a rental unit or network of how we can solve the problem, right? We are in the problem-solving business. And so the suppliers that we work with, most notably, MaxLiner and PRT, those guys take care of us. I mean, we love those guys. Our relationship's fantastic. They've serviced the hell out of us. You know, ultimately, if somebody had a piece of equipment cheaper, we probably wouldn't buy it from them. We would buy it from those guys because they take care of us. And so that's really what, under the hood, opened my eyes to our growing market in pipelining, the supplies that are out there, and why and who we buy from and what causes us to do it. And so that's what we're all about.